Let me tell you a story about Big Johnny and Little Johnny. And Big Johnny was a really nice guy, family man, did the whole thing. So every Saturday they would go out, Big Johnny and Little Johnny, and they would do their fishing things or whatever type of things. And this Saturday they get ready to go out, and the tire is flat on the car. So Big Johnny's got to change it. So he takes Little Johnny over and he says, "Little Johnny, you just, sit right here on the steps. You just stay right here and don't move, and I'm going to change the tire." And Big Johnny goes over and starts to change the tire, starts to jack it up, and all of a sudden he notices Little Johnny's just standing right behind him watching, wanting to learn, because that's what it is. Your parents are supposed to train you if you're a child and such. And so Big Johnny gets up and he goes very gently, grabs his hand, brings him back to the stoop and says, "Sit down here, Johnny, just sit on the stoop. You just stay on the stoop, okay? Don't leave it." Now, Big Johnny goes back, starts working on the tire again, gets a little higher up, starts taking the tire off, and there's Little Johnny right behind him. So now he gets up and he's starting to get frustrated. He's dealing with a tire. He wanted to just go out and enjoy his weekend with his son, and Little Johnny's misbehaving. And now he just grabs his hand, drags him back real fast, just wants to get back to the tire, sets him on the thing, right? And he says, "Didn't I tell you not to ever leave the stoop until I tell you to?" And then he goes, "That's it. I got to get this done." And he goes running back and gets to the tire and starts working on it real fast. And not even a minute goes by, and there's Little Johnny, and he's right behind him again. And he gets up. And Big Johnny's really just had it by now. He's frustrated with the car, frustrated with everything. And he's thinking Little Johnny just won't behave. He's like, remembers back to when his daddy had to give him a little whack on the behind. So he grabs his arm, flips him around, and whacks him on the behind, enough to make him cry. Not to really hurt him, but enough to say, "Hey, you're not listening to me," thinking that's how I'm going to commute him. Tough love. And kid starts to cry, of course, because it hurt. And he didn't understand why. His father attacked him, physically attacked him. He was just a small child. He only had a few years of memory. And it was never of his father attacking him for something that he didn't understand. And as he's crying, he looks up at his father, and he goes, "Why'd you do that?" And he says, "Because you wouldn't stay on the stoop." And Little Johnny looks up at him and says, "What is a stoop?" He had no idea of what his father was talking about. And his father didn't bother to go and thinking what the child could be thinking. Just thought of what he was conceiving. Everybody knew what a stoop was, except a 5-year-old who had never heard the word before. So, that's the story.